Hello everyone! In this week's video I'm drawing whatever the heck I want. Recently I've been feeling a bit burnt out. Well, I don't know if burnt out is the right word. It's just there are things I want to draw, but I've been too busy to draw the stuff I want to draw. I guess I feel like I just want to get my creativity out and just work on whatever I feel like working on. It's like I have a creative buildup that I need to let out, and because I'm not letting it out, it's making all of my other work like YouTube and my webcomic feel less fun. So to help let out this creative buildup, I'm going to work on some digital sketches, traditional art, and a digital painting. So let's get started. When I decided I was going to do a video of me drawing whatever I want, I knew exactly what I wanted to draw first. I wanted to draw this picture of V or Taehyung in my style. If you don't know, Taehyung is a member of the music group BTS. This picture is one of the concept photos for the Map of the Soul 1 photo book. Whenever new concept photos are released, there are so many of them that I want to draw because they often have really neat concepts, colors, and poses, and they're just really inspiring to me. I had wanted to draw this one for like 3 weeks. Right when I saw it, I was like, I need to draw it, but I don't really have time to. You might be wondering why I wanted to draw this picture so much. Well, 1, it's Taehyung, he's my bias, and 2, the colors, they are so pretty, and 3, sparkly things. I love drawing sparkly things, and I love how the jewels are kind of like tears, and I just think it's really neat. So yeah, all of those things mushed together made me really want to draw this. This drawing took me a little over an hour, like an hour and 5 minutes or something. I wanted it to feel kind of finished, but also still sketchy, so I wasn't trying to make it a super finished illustration, if that makes sense. Also, I'm drawing in a more semi-realistic style. This is a style I often go to when drawing from reference pictures. I was kind of trying to make it look like Taehyung, but at the same time, I was okay with it not looking like him, so I didn't try super hard to make it look like him. I feel like if you've seen the picture I'm drawing, you would be able to tell who it is. But if you haven't seen the picture, I don't know if you'd be able to tell, but that's okay. For his hair, I decided to stylize it a lot. I was thinking about sketching it in detail, but I thought it'd be more fun to make it totally black and draw some individual lines for some of the hair strands. It's quick and easy, but also still looks kind of cool, I think. I tried to include a lot of variations in the strand thicknesses and kind of capture the slight curl and waviness of the hair. I say it was quick and easy, but overall it's what I spent the most time on. So it did take me a little bit of time. After getting everything in place, it's time for some coloring. I made the background blue and the jacket a dark blue like in the original picture. I kept debating if I was going to color the skin because I kind of just wanted to stick with the blues. I decided to take a skin tone and then lower the opacity a ton. That way a lot of the blue gets incorporated into the skin tone. Now it's time for my favorite part, the gems. When coloring the gems, I basically just try to include a lot of contrast in the colors and have sharp edges. I don't use soft shading. I add a dark color in the middle of all of the gems, and then around the edges I'll add a variety of really light colors and dark colors and mid-tone colors. A lot of times I try to make the lights and darks opposite to each other. That way they have a good amount of contrast. Lastly, to make them look kind of magical, I used a really large textured pencil to add some highlights in the bottom of the gems. I had this set to add glow, so I had kind of a fun glowy effect. I had a lot of fun drawing this picture. I was really happy I got to draw it after wanting to draw it for so long. Now we will move on to the second thing I've been wanting to draw. So next I'm drawing Zhang Li from Genshin Impact. If you don't know, Genshin Impact is an open world RPG game with gacha elements. Basically, you can use in-game currency to get new characters and weapons and stuff like that. So I started playing Genshin Impact around when it first came out in September of last year. I think around November, Zhang Li was added to the game, and I really wanted him, but sadly I didn't get him, and I had used up all of my gems that I had saved. I was very sad about not getting him, so I kind of quit the game. I've occasionally played it here and there when I would hear about new events and stuff, but I didn't majorly get back into the game. Well, Zhang Li is back in the game, so I've been playing it again. I've been trying to get him by earning more Primo gems in the game. He's just so cool looking, and I really like his fighting style and his design. I want him on my team really bad. I had used quite a lot of my saved up Primo gems to get him, and the more rolls you do, the higher your chances of getting a 5-star are. At least I think that's how it works. And then when you get a 5-star, that chance resets. While I did get a 5-star, I got super excited when I saw the golden shooting star. I thought it was Zhang Li, but it was actually Diluc, and I was so sad because I thought it was Zhang Li. However, I do really like Diluc. He's cool, and he's a wonderful addition to my team. My current team is Lumen, Kaya, Diluc, and Barbara. Barbara is super cute. I recently added her to my team. It's really nice how she can heal people. I really love the healing ability. It comes in handy. So yeah, honestly, I don't know if I'll be able to get Zhang Li, so I'll just draw him instead. The first sketch was of him in profile view. It was kind of just a quick warm-up that I spent like 10 minutes on. This sketch of him in a kind of 3/4 view, I wanted to spend more time on it and make it a little bit more fancy. My plan was kind of to make a sketchbook page with a few different drawings of Zhang Li in it. This is something similar you would see in my traditional sketchbook. So I'm keeping this all pretty sketchy, and I'm using a pencil tool for the drawing. Oh, also I made the paper a light yellow and also applied a texture to it to make it look more like traditional paper. To make the eyes pop and kind of stand out, I filled them in with a marigold color. I decided to lightly shade them in later to make them pop even more. For the hair, I wasn't totally sure how I wanted to render it. I decided to draw a bunch of sketchy lines flowing in the way his hair is going. It makes his hair look really detailed, and I wanted it to look really fluffy because I like drawing really fluffy hair. So some of you might be thinking, it's your YouTube channel, can't you just always draw whatever you want? Yes and no. Yes, I can do whatever I feel like doing, but at the same time, I try to make my videos something that I think all of you will like and that YouTube will like. The YouTube algorithm can be kind of mean sometimes. It may seem shallow to care about views, but it is something I consider when planning what kind of content I create. Obviously, I want to create content that performs well and that you all seem to like. When videos do poorly when it comes to views, it tells me my audience isn't as interested in that topic. Like a lot of times traditional art videos or tutorials don't get as many views, so that's why I don't do them super often. I know there are some of you that will watch a video on pretty much whatever topic I decide to do, and I'm super thankful for all of you. Thank you so much for watching my videos. It truly means a lot to me. So yeah, I try to make my videos entertaining. Me uploading a video like I sketch Zhang Li sounds kind of boring, even though that's what I want to do. It may not be what people want to see, but I hope that me compiling a bunch of things that I've been wanting to draw will be kind of fun to watch. And even if this video doesn't do super well when it comes to views, I think I'll still do it again just because I had so much fun. It's kind of like I took a break without actually taking a break. That's what it feels like. So after finishing the second sketch, I decided I wanted to have a full pose on the page. I didn't have much room left on the page, so I made the drawing really small and I didn't go into too much detail. I think it actually looks kind of cute, the pose being so tiny, and I had fun drawing it. So here are all of my sketches of Zhang Li. Let's hope I get him before he leaves again. I really hope I get him. Hey you! Yeah, you! Did you know I now have a class where I show you my step-by-step process of how I create illustrations in Ibis Paint X? You might be wondering where you can find this class. Well, you can find it on Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes that can help you explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. I've recently been getting into 3D modeling. If you think 3D modeling sounds interesting, you can check out this class. Bring Your Illustrations to Life with Blender 3D by Remington Markham. In this class, you will illustrate, model, and texture your own 3D scene based off one of your own illustrations. You'll be using Blender 3D, a free open source software to create your own character in 3D. You will be guided through the process of illustrating, modeling, texturing, lighting, and rendering a scene in 3D. Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they are always launching new premium classes. So you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. And it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. However, you can try Skillshare for free. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of premium membership, so you can explore your creativity. So go try Skillshare today, and thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Next, I wanted to draw in my sketchbook. When drawing in my sketchbook, I often don't use a ton of supplies, just some pencils and some markers. If you don't know, in the month of May, there is the Mermaid Drawing Challenge. Artists try to draw a mermaid every day in May. I am not participating, but I did want to at least draw some mermaids. I always think it sounds fun to draw my OCs as mermaids and mermen, so I decided to draw my OC Faith as a mermaid. I thought she would make a really good merm because she has long pink hair, she sings, and has teal eyes, which reminds me of the ocean. So yeah, I thought she'd be really fun to draw as a mermaid. The first drawing is a Chibi Faith mermaid. I don't know, I just really wanted to draw a Chibi and I thought it'd be kind of cute. For this page, I'm going to sketch everything, and after sketching, I'll go into coloring and the finishing details. So after the Chibi, I wanted to draw a full body pose. The pose is pretty simple. She is just in the water. I decided to make her interact with a little fish. I once drew a fish kind of like this, and I really liked it, so I always kind of include it when drawing underwater illustrations. I guess it's kind of like a little fish OC, even though he doesn't really have a name and they always look kind of different. Something I've been struggling with recently is justifying making art for myself. I think that's also why I haven't been drawing things I want to draw as much. I have been really busy, and a lot of times after I finish art for YouTube and art for my webcomic, I don't really feel like drawing anymore. But sometimes I do have free time and I think, oh, maybe I can draw that thing I've been wanting to draw. But then I also think if I'm going to draw, I should get more work on my webcomic done or finish up the work for YouTube, not goof around and draw personal art. It's like my brain says I should work and catch up on stuff even though I don't really need to, and then that just results in me not drawing as much, I guess. Oh, so for the third drawing, I wanted it to be a close-up on the face. I was feeling happy about how the first two sketches turned out, so for the third one, I was feeling kind of confident, I guess, and I thought maybe I would try a different view for the face that was kind of complicated and not something I usually draw. Well, I didn't like how that was going, so I erased all of it. I maybe could have made it work if I wasn't drawing Faith, but it just didn't look like Faith. So yeah, I'm now drawing her face in a way that I am more used to drawing. Now that the sketches are in place, I'm going to go into coloring. Usually I do line art and then coloring, but my liners that I like to use are water-based, so they reactivate and smudge if I go over them at all with Copic marker, so that's why I add the coloring first. I use a very light pink for the hair and a light teal for the tail and other small areas. For her top, I use a light green. It's very similar to the teal, but it's just a little bit more green. I find seashell tops to be a little revealing, so a lot of times I make my mermaids wear a kind of seaweed wrap around their chest, so they have a little bit more coverage. After applying the colors and letting them dry, I go in with the line art. I am using Arteza Twee markers for this. I love how they have a super fine nib, and they are my favorite thing to use in my sketchbook for line art. I kind of liked the feeling that the pink was giving the page, so I used a pink marker for a lot of the line art. I did switch to a dark teal for teal areas. I actually kind of like adding line art after the coloring because it makes it feel like I can kind of pick and choose where I want to add the line art. I can only add it to areas where I feel like need it instead of adding it to everything. I feel like it's kind of a fun look and gives kind of a different feeling. I really want to make Faith's eyes stand out, so I used a brown to outline them. This resulted in them being much darker than the rest of the line art, and they do really pop. I did forget to color the eyes before doing the line art, so I had to be really careful when adding the coloring for the irises. I made sure not to touch the nib to the line art at all. Lastly, I added some pink shading with my pencil and added in the pupils for the eyes. I also shaded the eyes with a teal color pencil to make them feel shinier. And here's my finished sketchbook page of Faith as a mermaid. This was so much fun, and I'm glad I got to draw a little bit of something for MerMay. We can't have a video of me drawing whatever I want and not include Link. I always want to draw Link. I've been really hyped for the Skyward Sword release for the Switch, so I am drawing Skyward Sword Link. I really love Skyward Sword. I love the characters and the story, and I'm really looking forward to it. Skyward Sword Link is probably one of the Links I've drawn the least, even though he is one of my favorite versions of Link. I tend to draw Breath of the Wild Link or Twilight Princess Link. Breath of the Wild Link is definitely the Link I've drawn the most. He has a lot of hairstyles and outfits, which makes him really fun to draw. I did intend to do a bunch of sketches of SS Link, kind of like I did with Zhang Li, but I somehow started digitally painting. I don't know. I started applying colors and cleaning things up, and it turned into a digital painting. I just thought it sounded like a lot of fun to play around and experiment with colors. And the picture I was using as my reference had really neat lighting, and I wanted to try to replicate it myself. Like I mentioned earlier, I've been struggling with justifying creating personal art. For some reason, I keep feeling like it's selfish or I should do something more productive. I don't know, it might be kind of weird, but that's how I've been feeling. But after working on this video, I think I've learned that creating personal art is also important in ways. It keeps art fun for me, and it allows me to experiment, play around, and just try whatever I want. Also, I don't want to make it sound like I don't have fun making art for videos and for YouTube. I do have a lot of fun, and I'm actually really looking forward to working on next week's video. But for some reason, making art for YouTube always feels different than just drawing whatever inspires me in the moment. Making art for YouTube feels a bit more calculated, but making art for myself feels a little bit more freeing, if that makes sense. Like, I don't have to get pictures to a certain amount of completion. Once I feel like it's done, I can just kind of be done. Or if I want to move on, I can just move on. And if I want to work with one medium, I can work with that one. If I want to work digitally, I can work digitally. And I can just draw whatever I feel like drawing. And I had so much fun making this video. I enjoyed myself a lot and got to create all kinds of different art. I definitely want to do this more often, probably not every month, but maybe every other month I'll do something like this. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and listening to me ramble on about things I like, and kind of seeing a behind the scenes look of how I create art for myself. Thank you all so much for watching. Also, thank you to my wonderful patrons over on Patreon for helping support this channel. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. So that is all for this video, and I'll see you all next week in my next video. Bye!